Right now, sunny skies with a chance of showers after a string of rain-free days. Chris is tracking a change this weekend and into the work week. Plus, the verdict is in. Former Badgers football player Quintez Cephas is found not guilty on both counts of sexual assault. What's next for his future in sports and the UW?
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, and thanks for starting your day with us here on News 3 Now. It's Saturday, August 3rd. I'm Keely Arthur, in with meteorologist Chris Reese. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Keely. We are enjoying the sunshine, but some of us are smiling through the pain.
Yes, breaking news.
Yes, and breaking arms.
We were just mentioning this. We posted on our Facebook page, Channel 3000. I cracked my arm on Wednesday, and it was in a sling. It's supposed to be in a sling. The doctor said I could take it out of the sling for the show. So
I will say the sling does match her dress, though, so she was prepared.
Yes, and everybody on Facebook was like, put the sling on, but they said I was very lucky. The way it broke was, and I don't need surgery. It just has to be in the sling for 2 weeks. It will be fully healed. Got to get it time
to heal up.
Yeah, and Chris has been hearing me complaining about it all morning.
We're still glad you're here. It's been a fun morning.
Yes.
We have had fun, and I think folks will have a chance to have fun if you head outdoors this morning as well. We'll see plenty of sunshine. There's the sunshine out there right now, and temperatures are already mild, 68 degrees. One of the things you'll notice, though, it is a tad more humid. Those dew points have moved back into the low 60s. That means it's going to start to feel just a little bit sticky. But here are the temperatures right now. Some of us are already in the mid-70s. Mineral Point at 75, Monroe at 73, even Milwaukee coming in at 74 right now. There are no showers or thunderstorms throughout southern Wisconsin. We had some up near Green Bay earlier today. We will be watching high-resolution Doppler going throughout the afternoon for at least a chance of some showers and thunderstorms to develop. That's going to be something to be mindful of. There's a lot more moisture in the atmosphere as well, so any shower or thunderstorm that goes up will have the moisture available to truthfully produce some rainfall. But here's the muggy meter, folks. I mean, again, it's certainly going to be sticky, not uncomfortable, not oppressive, not miserable, but yes, it's going to be more humid out there, and then we'll see that chance for thunderstorms probably coming in right around 4 o'clock or so. And again, not everyone will get in on that, but the chance will at least be there.
And still a gorgeous day overall. No need to cancel your plans.
Don't cancel it.
What do you call it?
Splash and dash.
Splash and
Play
dash.
Splash and dash, yes.
Perfect.
A perfect summer game.
Yeah, it's very fun. All right, thank you so much, Chris.
My pleasure.
Well, new today, former Badger football player Quintez Cephas will not spend time in prison. In the case we've been following all week long, the jury took only 45 minutes to reach a verdict on his 2 sexual assault charges.
We, the jury, find the defendant Quintez Cephas not guilty of third-degree sexual assault as charged in the first count of the information. We, the jury, find the defendant Quintez Cephas not guilty of second-degree sexual assault of an intoxicated victim as charged in the second count of the information.
Lots of emotions, as you see right there. Cephas was facing up to 40 years in prison on both charges. He and his family visually emotional after hearing those words. So what is next? Well, one thing that's not certain is what happens from here in regards to both Cephas's future with school, with sports, and the possibility of suing the UW. Now, Cephas's lawyers aren't saying whether their client will sue the university for violating his civil rights. But as for the outcome of the verdict, the executive director of the Rape Crisis Center, Erin Thornley-Parisi, says less than 2% of sexual assailants will find themselves behind bars for any period of time. She says the verdict only means so much.
I was disappointed, but I was not surprised. Just because somebody doesn't serve time in jail or is not found guilty doesn't mean that they didn't do it, and we believe victims, and we know that what these women say, have reported happened, that it did happen.
As for Cephas's lawyer, he says he's been thinking about yesterday for more than a year now and is content with the verdict that was reached. New this morning, the death toll continues to go up after a cliff collapses near San Diego. Now, at least 3 people are dead and several more are in the hospital. It happened late Friday afternoon at the busy Grandview Surf Beach in Encinita, California. From above, you can see beach chairs, towels, surfboards, and beach toys scattered on the sand. First responders will continue to comb the beach today to see if any more people are trapped. Marine Safety Captain Larry Giles says it's amazing anyone survived given how heavy the bluff is.
According to soil engineer, it is extremely heavy amount of weight, tens of thousands of pounds in some of these 5 to 10 foot sections.
Lifeguards say bluff collapses happen naturally around 4 to 8 times a year along the eroding San Diego coastline. And while a soil engineer says none of the nearby homes were in any danger, there was fear of a secondary collapse. As a public safety precaution, the city of Encinitas has closed a large portion of the beach for the weekend. On the other side of the country, a federal judge has ruled President Trump's asylum ban illegal. The ban aimed to temporarily bar migrants who illegally cross into the U.S. through the southern border from seeking asylum outside official ports of entry. The district judge determined the policy is a violation of the Immigration and Nationality Act. The ban was already on hold because of a nationwide injunction from a California court, an order which was upheld by the Supreme Court. More local news now. It's been 2 years since East and Westtown malls implemented a youth escort policy, attempting to cut down on complaints about unruly teenagers. Since late July of 2017, mall visitors under 18 must have a parent or guardian who is at least 21 on Fridays and Saturdays after 4 p.m. or any other time the mall says they find necessary. CBL Properties, which owns the malls, came up with the policy after Madison police told them they'd been responding at East and Westtown often and wanted to improve the safety there.
We were responding to disturbances, loud fighting juveniles throughout the mall area, and we'd received complaints not only from the store owners but the citizens as well, just saying there's a volume of kids that are running loose in the malls.
Madeline O'Neill dives into whether the policy is working and how it's affecting area teenagers. You can watch that story tomorrow morning on News 3 Now, This Morning Sunday. It's the first weekend for the Wisconsin State Fair, and fair organizers called this week the busiest, but also the most exciting. They've been working all year round to get the fair ready, but everything actually came together this week. The event runs for 11 days with some new events like a rodeo happening tonight. It'll cost you $6 to get into the fair before noon and 9 after noon. Kids 10 and under are free. You can also buy a season admission pass for $25. Up in Appleton, you can hear hundreds of artists performing all genres of music, also for free. College Avenue turns into the Mile of Music throughout this weekend for the event, which features more than 900 shows. It's the festival's 7th year, and it brought in more than 80,000 people last year. It runs from noon till midnight today, and then 11 a.m. to 6 in the evening tomorrow. There are more than 200 artists performing this year at the festival. CrossFit competition continues today, and so do the special meals and deals happening all around town. These visiting athletes are a crowd that definitely needs a good meal to fuel up during competition, and we can all benefit. Whether you're a carnivore, vegan, gluten-free, paleo, you name it, there's something for everyone at Madison area restaurants who are rolling out special menus to accommodate the appetites of athletes and fans. Over at Yola's, they themed their menu specifically for CrossFit workouts.
We based the menu off of some really cool CrossFit moves. We have a power snatch, strawberry protein smoothie, a farmer's carry, frittata, box jump BLT, power clean banana protein waffle. We're known for our waffles here, so we're really excited to be able to provide a supercharged CrossFit waffle for y'all.
Looks yummy. If you're in town for the CrossFit Games, we have a guide for you on our website. You can find all those healthy restaurant options up on channel3000.com. Well, it's a big weekend for the Brewers as they are looking for redemption after a loss at Wrigley Field to the Cubs. Let's start with the good news. Ryan Braun hits better at Wrigley Field than anywhere else on the planet. So no surprise, he hit another homer at Wrigley, the 19th of his career at the friendly confines. It tied the game at 1 in the second inning, but Brewers starter Zach Davies had another rough outing, and Javier Baez was the guy that made it rough. Baez went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs and his 26th homer of the season. The final score, Cubs 6, Brewers 2. The two teams face off again today at 1:20 p.m. Taking a look at the standings, the Cardinals had a rare Friday off, so right now St. Louis leads the NL Central by half a game over the Cubs. The Brewers now 2.5 out of first, and they're a game and a half out of the second wild card spot. Happening here, the All-City Swim Meet continues at the West Side Swim Club today. Over the weekend, there will be more than 2,000 swimmers competing in more than 4,000 events. The All-City Swim Meet began in 1962 with 5 city clubs. Now there are 13 swim clubs competing, and it's one of the largest outdoor amateur meets in the country. Ridgewood is the team to watch. They have won 21 of the last 24 all-city swim meets, but Middleton won the team title last year. The finals are tomorrow. It is 8:09, and whether or not you are hoping for a pool day today, you might find yourself a bit wet. After a string of rain-free days, Chris is tracking the return of showers. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol, where vendors are getting ready for hopefully a busy and sunny day at the farmers market. Your full forecast is ahead.
What another beautiful weekend day that we are approaching, and we're here. Now, temperatures already starting to work their way into the upper 60s. Even some low to mid 70s are beginning to show up. The winds are calm, but it is just a little bit more humid out there. The dew point into the low 60s. We'll touch on that more in just a moment. In the meantime, here are the temperatures across the state. Most of us are into the upper 60s at this point, but some of us have reached the 70-degree mark. Monroe, you guys are at 73, Mineral Point at 75 right now. La Crosse, Black River Falls, and even Camp Douglas have made it towards 70 now, but check out the dew points. The dew points are well into the 60s, upper 60s, and even some low 70s. Dew points are starting to show up. So now things are sticky and we are borderline uncomfortable in some spots. So yes, we are going to stay humid as we go throughout the day with just enough moisture in the air to perhaps spark a shower or thunderstorm if we get a little bit of upward motion into the atmosphere for the clouds to develop. Now, we have seen some showers and thunderstorms throughout northern Wisconsin earlier today. We have some north of the Twin Cities. None of these are large in nature, but here's what we have going on. This region of high pressure, it's starting to move away from us. This is going to allow a weak boundary towards our north and a little disturbance throughout the high plains to move closer to south central Wisconsin. That will add to the chance for some showers or thunderstorms. Notice Future Track tries to show that. And none of them are big or widespread, but nonetheless, the chance is certainly there. I think the most widespread chance of rain, that's going to come at some point Monday night into Tuesday. And even still, that does not appear to be a washout as of now. But let's go ahead and time things out for you guys. Here we are at lunchtime today. Temperatures are right around 80 degrees, but I want to focus on what begins to happen into the afternoon. We'll top out right around 84, but notice some showers and thunderstorms will try to develop over towards the lakeshore. Those will then move towards the south and west. As they do so, we'll see some showers or thunderstorms out of that, but I don't think it's going to be super widespread. By the time the sun begins to set, a lot of that turns off. Will cool down towards about 65 degrees overnight tonight. Then tomorrow will warm up quickly. 11:30, it's already 77 degrees. We'll see those highs into the low and mid 80s again on Sunday. But here's what happens through time. We'll keep those temperatures into the mid 80s for highs, but then we begin to cool down with temperatures into the mid 70s and upper 70s as we go through the week ahead. There are some rain chances as well, but all of them truthfully are fairly minor rain chances with the exception of Monday into Tuesday. Generally the forecast will be drier as opposed to wetter.
That's what I like to hear. And I mean, it was beautiful last week and it still kind of looks like it's going to continue.
And the humidity will go back down next week as well. It's just humid for the weekend. To comfortable.
All right.
Yes.
That's what we like it. All right. Thanks so much,
My
Chris.
pleasure.
Well, swim areas are closed and activities at the Memorial Union canceled this weekend, all due to recent blue-green algae blooms in the area. UW limnology expert Emily Stanley says the blooms have been a problem since the 1930s, but the past 5 years have gotten much worse. High heat, little to no wind, and excess nutrients like phosphorus are causing the issues.
This summer, it's just been constant, sort of steady blue-greens in the lake all summer. It's been always green. So I would rank this as a high up there in the bad blue-green summers.
Some species of blue-green algae can cause liver failure. For safety purposes, Lake Mendota swim access by Memorial Union is currently closed, as well as the beach at James Madison Park. Organizations like Clean Lakes Alliance are working to reduce these blooms.
Build a rain garden, a rain barrel, things of those, like how you can keep the water on your own land and let that water sink down into the ground versus pushing it through the streets into the lakes.
And if you're still trying to find a way to get into the water, experts suggest swimming in the center of the lake where blue-green algae is less likely to thrive. People can also visit Clean Lakes Alliance's website for a map of which lakes are currently the safest. Well, it is 8:17 right now. Netflix's Fab Five are headed to the Midwest in the newest episode of Queer Eye. And there are several new movies out for action fans, fans of documentaries, and psychological thrillers alike. Plus, there are several shows and movies you should find time for this weekend. Will shares his picks in 3 things to watch. That's just ahead on News 3 Now this morning, Saturday. Welcome back. Topping this morning's trending news, the Fab Five have taken a trip to the Midwest. The Queer Eye Guys traveled to Jonathan Van Ness's former high school in Quincy, Illinois, to do a makeover on one of his favorite teachers and the entire school during season 4. They also met with the school's Gay-Straight Alliance to talk about bullying and gender identity. You can watch that episode and more in Queer Eye season 4, now streaming on Netflix. And looking ahead, PBS is developing a documentary about the life and political career of former President George W. Bush. The 2-episode program called W will include interviews with historians, journalists, and members of the Bush administration. The documentary will air next spring as part of PBS's American Experience series. And Jack Ryan is back in an intense teaser trailer for season 2 of the Amazon drama. John Krasinski returns in the title role. The second season finds the CIA officer in the jungles of South America investigating a suspicious shipment of illegal weapons. While the show has already been renewed for a 3rd season, Amazon has yet to announce when season 2 will premiere. And Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe become unhinged in the first trailer for The Lighthouse. The critically acclaimed psychological drama shot in black and white is set in the 1890s and follows 2 lighthouse keepers on a remote and mysterious island in New England who rapidly lose their minds. Now, The Lighthouse hits theaters this October. But you don't have to wait until then for an action-packed movie or a family fun film. Here's Will Loper's 3 things to watch.
It's really nice to see you again.
Whoa! Hey! Crack it down! I'm okay. Did policemen just call me a cracker?
New on home video this week is Long Shot.
What is the relationship exactly? I used to babysit for him. You babysat for him? Wow, time has not been kind. I need some writers to punch up my speeches. Fred's writing is really good, and he knows me. Oh, I feel so scared.
Seth Rogen stars as a journalist who follows around presidential candidate Charlotte Field, played by Charlize Theron, and the two start to fall for each other.
Do you like date?
I mean, who wants to follow me around the world and hope I have 5 minutes to be affectionate?
Yeah.
We did almost just die.
We actually did almost die. We need to move you.
Thank you, Agent M.
Long Shot is available to rent or buy everywhere now.
We asked 1,000 constituents how they would feel if Kate Middleton
I see where you're going with this.
were to start dating Danny DeVito. Pretty negative reaction.
Were you at college with Ainsley too? I always thought of Ainsley, Duffy and Craig as more of a trio.
No, there are always 4 of us.
Newly streaming on Hulu this week is 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Maya, this is my boyfriend, Cash.
Wait, this is Cash? His father works at the airport.
Maybe he could help you find that cute guy.
She called him Ryan Gosling dipped in caramel.
I did not say that.
The romantic comedy series is an adaptation of the 1994 movie, following a love triangle and, you may have guessed it, several weddings and a funeral.
Have you ever had the feeling you've gone down the wrong path? Like somewhere along the line you've made a bad choice and now it's too late to go back?
I feel like that literally every day.
All 12 episodes of 4 Weddings and a Funeral are available to stream on Hulu now.
Good luck, man! Love will find a way, bro! But I'll wait here just in case it doesn't.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Finally, this week, Hobbs & Shaw releases in theaters, but go back to where it all began with 2001's film, The Fast and the Furious.
Nothing else matters.
Paul Walker plays an undercover cop who must discover the identities of car hijackers, who include Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez.
What are you smiling about?
Dude, I almost had you.
The Fast and the Furious is available to rent or buy everywhere now. Happy watching. Those are the 3 things you need to watch. And this is Will Loper for News 3 Now this morning.
There is much more ahead on News 3 Now. Next, we're running through the morning's top stories, including a deadly bluff collapse in California that has the death toll rising. And the biggest names in the Democratic Party are in Nevada this weekend. We hear from people in the early voting state about who they'd cast their ballot for right now. We'll be right back.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning. It's August 3rd. I'm Keely Arthur. We're going to get a check on your first alert forecast with Chris in just a second. But first, here are 3 things to know as you start your day. The death toll continues to go up after a cliff collapses near San Diego. Now, at least 3 people are dead and several more are in the hospital. It happened late Friday afternoon at the busy Grandview Surf Beach in Encinita, California. First responders will continue to comb the beach today to see if they can find any more people who may have been trapped. After just 45 minutes of deliberation, the jury has found former UW Badger football player Quintez Cephas not guilty on 2 charges of sexual assault. One thing that's not certain is what happens from here in regards to both Cephas's future with the school and the possibility of suing the UW. Cephas's lawyers aren't saying whether their client will sue the university for violating his civil rights. But as for the outcome, the executive director of the Rape Crisis Center, Erin Thornley-Parisi, says less than 2% of sexual assailants will find themselves behind bars, and she wasn't surprised by this ruling. And the Brewers are looking for redemption after a loss to the Cubs Friday has them 2.5 games out of first in the NL Central. Ryan Braun's homer wasn't enough to push the Brew crew past the Cubs at Wrigley, and Brewers starter Zach Davies had another rough outing. The final score, Cubs 6, Brewers 2. The two teams face off once again at 1:20 this afternoon. And here's meteorologist Chris Reese. Chris, great day to enjoy a ball game.
A ball game, the farmer's market, maybe swimming in the pool. There's a lot that you could do today. The temperatures are going to be very comfortable to be outdoors. The humidity gets a little sticky, though. We'll show that in a moment. In the meantime, 68 degrees. The winds are calm, but the dew points have made it into the low 60s as well. Notice that humidity coming up towards 84%. So yes, it is certainly there's a little bit more moisture outside. The temperatures, though, are beginning to work their way into the low 70s, even some mid 70s showing up. Watoma at 76 right now. Otherwise, Mineral Point at 73 and Monroe at 74. But here are the dew points again. Notice a lot of them are into the upper 60s, even a 70-degree dew point starting to show up. Folks, this is where we go from comfortable to sticky and perhaps even uncomfortable, and that's going to be the case this afternoon. But with the added moisture into the atmosphere, we may actually see a chance for a shower or a thunderstorm to develop. This is all as a little cold front tries to push towards the south. We'll be watching that going throughout the day and, of course, keep you up to date into the afternoon.
Checking that for us, Chris. Well, 18 of the biggest names running for president, including Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and Kamala Harris, are in Nevada today for a forum hosted by a major public sector union. Nevada is one of the first states in the country to hold its primary, and although voters won't cast those ballots until mid-February, we're hearing from those men and women about what they care about the most this election cycle. Jerica Duncan joins us with that story.
We began our day at Mom's Diner in Pahrump.
Thanks for having us.
Known for the best burgers in town, they serve up a solid breakfast too. This community, about an hour west of Las Vegas, was left with acres of empty lots after the housing crisis a decade ago. But builders and home buyers are back.
Morning.
Most of the customers we met at Mom's lean conservative.
You're very clear about where you stand with your hat.
And we're happy to tout an improved economy.
You know, there's more people working in America right now than there's ever been.
I will definitely take some coffee. Thank you very much.
Immigration was another issue that mattered regardless of party.
I don't go for an open border system at all.
This group of church friends included an independent, a Republican, and a Democrat.
Are you guys learning about each other's sort of political views for the first time?
I guess.
Are there any Democrats that you think could sway you to vote for a Democrat in 2020?
Usually I vote Republican just because I'm a Christian. And there's some policies as far as abortion and things. I'll never vote for somebody who's, pro those things.
Who do you like
Me?
right now?
I like Biden. I used to live in Delaware.
So, other than just living in Delaware, what is it about him that right now he's got your vote?
Everything that people don't like about him. Biden to me is a straight shooter.
Between communities here in Nevada are vast stretches of open land, as you can see. About 85% of this land is owned by the federal government.
Government controls too much of the land in Nevada, way too much.
That argument enjoyed bipartisan support at the Muddy River Bar and Grill in rural Moapa.
How are you?
Where we met up with a group of retirees during lunch.
Being retired, I'm concerned about prices going up, and our retirement is staying low, Social Security-wise.
Prescription prices are so high, and so I think that's a concern for all seniors.
What are your thoughts on immigration?
The biggest problem we have as far as that is concerned, we're not making it so people can come in legally. I mean, the paperwork is humongous.
The one thing that still bothers me is that people still refer to me as a Mexican. I'm an American. A kid comes from Germany, learns English. Nobody asks him, where are you from? Because there's a stereotype of what an American looks like.
Southern Nevada is considered one of the sunniest places in the country, and harvesting that energy has been key to the Paiute tribe, which is the first to build a solar field on native land. This 2,000-acre field serves more than 100,000 customers.
The coal plant that once operated here was imploded earlier this month. Are you glad this coal plant is gone?
Yes, I'm glad it has. We're on our way to a new economy. People have to give up on this.
Vicki Simmons is the chairman of the Mawapa Band of Paiutes.
Maybe these solar projects will do some good and save some lives in the future.
The reservation lies about 50 miles north of our final stop, Las Vegas, Nevada's biggest and most diverse city. We stopped for dinner at Bonita Michoacan, a Mexican restaurant and a local favorite, as colorful as anything on the Strip.
Hello, how are you?
This group of friends were visiting from California. 2 of them will vote for president for the first time in 2020.
What issues concern you all the most right now?
Mainly student loans, probably. It's set up in a way where it kind of screws the person over at the end, you know?
Student debt is a concern for many young voters.
How are you?
But here, like everywhere we went on this day in Nevada, the conversation ultimately turned to immigration, a top issue in the state that's nearly 30% Hispanic.
I would say right now, immigration is like one of the biggest issues.
Immigration.
Right? So
You're shaking your head.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like the border.
Oh, I'm not for immigrants. I'm an immigrant, but we have to do it the legal way.
After this weekend, the next time the Democrats running for the Democratic nomination will share a stage will likely be September 12th and 13th in Houston for the 3rd primary debate. It will be held on the campus of Texas Southern University. Well, looking for something to do this weekend, we have got you covered. From a pub crawl disguised as a craft market to a performance you won't want to miss. Your Weekend 608 is next on News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks. We are starting to see those temperatures reach the low and even mid 70s in some spots. Madison still at 68, but Mineral Point has made it up towards 75 already. We'll continue to watch those temperatures warm up going throughout the day. I do think we'll all hit the 80s by lunchtime. Highs should be right around 84. We will watch for a chance of some isolated showers or thunderstorms developing this afternoon, though most folks should be on the dry side.
All right, thanks, Chris. It is the weekend in the 608.
And here's what's going on in and around the Madison area.
It is still music festival season, and one of the best returns, Sugar Maple Music Festival. The musicians gathering at Lake Farm Park this weekend will play everything from bluegrass to folk to Zydeco. Chris,
I'm glad you know how to pronounce that.
We're going to go with that. But what sets the Sugar Maple Music Fest apart is that many of the performers also put on workshops and even jump into jam sessions with festival goers. The music happens there both today and tomorrow.
All right, well, the Madison Makers Summer Market will take over the 700 through 900 blocks of East Washington Avenue this afternoon. Some 75 arts and crafts vendors will be set up between several establishments, including Giant Jones Brewing Co., Old Sugar Distillery, Boss Meadery, and the Brink Lounge, along with the High Noon Saloon. Now, if that sounds like a pub crawl as much as a market, you're right. Now, while folks are encouraged to stroll while shopping, all drinking will need to be done inside at the hosting businesses, not while walking from one to the other. The Makers Market is happening from 1 until 5 today.
I can see some people maybe breaking that rule. Great. And don't miss the amazing Acro Cats at the Bartell Theater now through Monday night. As seen on Animal Planet and Adult Swim, the Acro Cats are a troupe of highly trained house cats who ride skateboards, jump through hoops, and most impressively play instruments. The band Tuna and the Rock Cats includes felines on guitars, drums, keyboards, and horns. Don't believe it? Then come to one of their performances at the Bartell this weekend. Do you like what I did there?
I did.
Okay.
I did. It was good.
Well, you can get this month's Madison magazine for all of the best Madison area has to offer.
All right. Well, you are getting ready to look live over the Capitol, and boom, there it is. We have some sunshine right now, but could there be rain chances? I'll have your full forecast coming up next.
But first, let's take a look at who is 3 today. Happy birthday, Lila and Lucy.
Happy Saturday, friends. It's another beautiful day here in south central Wisconsin. We are watching, though, for a chance of some showers and thunderstorms to develop. We'll get to that. In the meantime, 68 degrees right now. The wind is calm. The dew points, though, are coming up, so it's starting to feel a little bit more humid. Let's focus on the temperatures first. Most of us are in the upper 60s and some low 70s have come into the picture. Monroe at 74 right now, Mineral Point at 75, but then you jump over towards Lone Rock. You see the temperature at 67, and of course I just mentioned Madison being at 68. However, the dew points are also into the mid and upper 60s and even low 70s. So it is now starting to become a lot more humid out there. We're sticky for sure. And some folks, or in some places, the humidity is reaching the level of being uncomfortable. So yes, we're dealing with the humidity again as we go through the weekend, and that added moisture to the air could be enough to produce some showers and thunderstorms as well. There's nothing going on over the state right now. We did have one lone shower earlier near Green Bay. That's since fallen apart, but as we go later on into the afternoon, I do think that could change. High pressure is moving away from us. We do have a weak cold front trying to move down from the north. At the same time, we have a weak disturbance over the high plains. Those two together are going to be influencing our weather, bringing with them a chance for some showers and thunderstorms periodically. So here's that minor chance that we do have as we go through this afternoon. Then we'll have a bigger chance coming in Monday night into Tuesday. And that rain chance will likely be a lot more widespread compared to what we do see out there today. Then that's going to move on towards the south and east. But let's go ahead and focus in on how today's rain chance may develop. For the most part, we're going to see the sunshine early. Temperatures reach 80 by lunchtime, and that's about when I do think we'll start to see some showers and thunderstorms developing, especially the closer you are towards the lakeshore. But that instability will be in place for all of south central Wisconsin, so I can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm going up at any time. Once the sun sets, we'll turn off that chance of showers and thunderstorms. Those temperatures will cool down into the mid 60s for your overnight lows, with again clear skies returning to the picture. Then tomorrow, we heat up rather quickly. By lunchtime on Sunday, those temperatures will already be near 80. We'll see those highs into the low and mid 80s. And again, I can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm joining the picture. That's why we have that slight chance for Sunday. I think today's chance is a little bit more robust than Sunday's chance of rain, but it's not all that big of a rain threat. I think the biggest rain chance in our forecast overall is going to be Monday into Tuesday. And then that's going to sweep out the humidity. So we'll have a week with highs in the 70s and low humidity. And for the most part, things will be dry as well.
We've been lucky lately. It really has been pretty beautiful.
We really have. Hopefully we can keep this nice, crisp weather around for fall this year. We'll see.
I'm counting on you to make that happen,
I will
Chris.
put in the order now.
Talk to the weather gods.
I will do so.
Thank you. Well, we've been asking you to share your morning with us. This is a beautiful photo sent in by Karen Buss of a morning sunrise over the Monona Terrace. Thanks so much for sharing. And what does your morning look like? You can take a picture and post it on Channel 3000's Facebook page or on Twitter using the hashtag MyNews3Morning. We will share our favorites right here. And stick with News 3 all day long. And then tomorrow morning, when it comes to legalized marijuana's business is booming. We take a look at the well-known name in retail looking to get in on the action. But first, an American wonder. We're heading north to check out a once remote highway that's captivating drivers and drawing in tourists. That's next on News 3 Now this morning, Saturday. Stay with us. Well, finally this morning, we are exploring places that make America great. We're taking one look at an amazing place up in North Dakota. We have that.
On an unnamed highway in southwest North Dakota, where lush green plains roll up to the sky, the unexpected appears over the horizon. Soaring scrap metal sculptures nestled on the roadside. This is the Enchanted Highway.
This is fabulous that this guy came up with this idea to save this part of North Dakota. I think this is wonderful.
This guy is 70-year-old Gary Greff.
So glad to meet you.
A self-taught scrap metal sculptor.
See, I wanted each sculpture, each site to be a picture. Like you're driving into a picture frame. And when you get into it, you go, wow, that's completely different than the other one.
7 works dot this 32-mile stretch of the Enchanted Highway. According to Guinness, Geese in Flight is the largest scrap metal sculpture in the world. Greff draws inspiration from local wildlife and historical figures. Driving this road, you'll see pheasants on the prairie, fisherman's dream, and President Roosevelt on a bucking horse in Teddy Rides Again. Greff began work on his first, the Tin Family, in 1989.
1989 was the year Field of Dreams came out as a movie.
If you build it, he will come.
Was that at all any inspiration for this? If you build it, they will come?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Field of Dreams, you're right. I saw the movie and I go, okay, if they build it, well, you know, they will come. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Greff was hoping people would come to his hometown.
All right, so here we are in Regent.
A genuine blink-and-you'll-miss-it kind of place. He wanted tourists to follow the path of the sculptures into Regent. About 6,000 cars do each year. He opened a gift shop and turned the former high school into a 19-room medieval-themed hotel. But not everybody in town has bought into Greff's vision.
Well, the landowners aren't being real cooperative right now.
To build, Greff needs about an acre of donated property.
There's a couple of them that run me off their place.
Because they see you coming.
Yeah, they won't even, they don't want a sculpture. Oh, I don't want a sculpture. Get the heck out of here. One guy threatened that, I'll shoot you if you don't get off my place. I go, okay, I'm out of here. The town's mentality is they've been a farming community for 100 years. Well, that's great, but you've gone from a town of 400 to a town of 100. Now that tells you something's got to change.
See over here.
This is what I came up with to help them out. Now you guys got to take it and run with it, but I haven't seen any running yet.
So while Greff waits for the people of Regent to come around, he keeps on building with designs for at least 3 more sculptures.
I want these to be a legacy for North Dakota, a legacy for Regent. I don't care about me. I mean, I wanted people to say, if he can do something like this, God dang it, maybe I can do something. You can do whatever you put your mind to it. Just do it.
The North Dakota legislature voted earlier this year to allocate funds to assist Greff in the maintenance of the sculptures along the Enchanted Highway. For nearly 30 years before that, Greff used his own money and donations to maintain the sculptures. Jamie Wax, CBS News, New York.
We need some of those sculptures along the Beltline.
I know, as long as people, you know, can pay attention to the road,
and not look at the beautiful
There's already
art.
enough issues on the Beltline. Hopefully we'll stay free of those as we go through the rest of the weekend. We will see some showers, though, trying to come back into the picture as we move into this afternoon and evening. I don't think it's going to be that widespread, but some folks may have to play a little splash and dash this afternoon, but that's okay. It just means you're alive. As we go into Sunday, we'll see some more sunshine, then another chance for some rain Monday night into Tuesday. Wednesday looks great. Thursday night into Friday, a little rain chance, and next weekend looks great right now. So I think we're all pretty much good and set to go for the week ahead. Here's Trixie and Baraboo for your pet walk. If you're walking your cat later on this afternoon at 3 o'clock, you may dodge a shower or two.
All right, good advice for Trixie and everybody else. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right here tomorrow morning at 6:30.